Last night I caught someone trying to open my back door with a master key. And it wasn't some burglar in a hoodie. It was the HOA president herself, Chloe Foster. But when my son stepped out in full police uniform, her face went pale like she'd seen a ghost. That moment changed everything, because it turned out she wasn't just nosy. She was running a criminal operation that almost destroyed my family. Act 1. The conflict begins. My name's Wesley Armstrong. I'm 65, a retired IT director who thought moving into Maplewood Estates would finally give me peace. Neat lawns, quiet streets, neighbors who waved when they walked their dogs, the kind of place where the biggest drama should be someone painting their shutters the wrong shade of beige. My daughter Jane is deployed overseas with the Army, so I take care of my grandson Tyler. He's 13, smart as a whip, sharp enough to notice things I sometimes miss. My son Jake drops by often, but because of department rules, he never wears his police uniform when he visits. We lived quietly. At least we thought we did. Then there was Chloe Foster, our HOA chair. Mid-50s professional suits hair sprayed into a helmet voice like she was reading rules off a clipboard, even when she was just chatting. From day one, she acted like Maplewood was her personal kingdom. During the welcome visit, she leaned in a little too close, asking about my home office, my finances, even my so-called crypto portfolio. I remember thinking, how the hell did she know I had crypto? I'd never told her. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe Jake had said something. Maybe she overheard a call. But then the wellness checks started. She'd show up unannounced with some flimsy excuse about HOA safety inspections, her eyes roaming my living room like she was taking inventory. She'd ask questions like, "Do you feel comfortable leaving Tyler home alone, or have you considered a stronger security system?" It was phrased as concern, but it felt like she was collecting data. Tyler noticed it too. He called her the crazy HOA lady and joked about her questions. We laughed, but his instincts were dead on. A couple weeks in, he came to me and said, "Grandpa, why does my laptop move when we're out?" I figured he just forgot where he left it, but then I saw the signs myself. Papers shifted on my desk, coffee mugs, not where I left them. Small things, but small things mean someone's been inside. And wouldn't you know, it always lined up with those official maintenance windows the HOA scheduled. That's when I talked to Emma Collins, a neighbor 3 doors down. Former military spouse, tough as nails. She frowned the second I mentioned Chloe's wellness checks. Wesley. The day after Chloe visited me, my laptop disappeared. I filed a police report, but with no proof. Her voice trailed off, but I could see it in her eyes. This wasn't paranoia. Something was happening. I put up a Ring camera the next day. I wanted proof. And when I reviewed the footage, my blood ran cold, a stranger moving like a pro, entering during a landscaping visit, in and out like clockwork. Not random thieves, someone who knew exactly what they were looking for. Act 2. Escalation and turning point. The first gut punch came when I checked my fireproof safe. I kept my crypto hardware wallet in there, locked with a code only I knew. When I opened it, gone. $50,000 vanished. Not the backup drives, not the cash, not even the expensive equipment. Just the wallet. Whoever took it knew exactly what to grab. That's when I started to doubt myself. Maybe I'd been careless. Maybe I'd left the code written somewhere. Maybe I was just losing it in retirement, inventing drama out of boredom. There was a night I sat at the kitchen table staring at that empty safe, thinking, maybe I should just let this go. What am I even fighting, a neighborhood gossip queen or my own imagination? But then Tyler put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Grandpa, it's not in your head. Look at the patterns. Look at the footage. You taught me to trust my instincts. That snapped me out of it. If a 13-year-old kid could see it, I sure as hell wasn't going to sit around doubting myself." Emma backed us up. She showed me her military-grade cameras, multiple angles, motion sensors, crystal clear evidence of the same crew hitting houses all over Maplewood. And then she got a call from her bank, 3 new accounts opened in her name. Identity theft. This wasn't petty burglary, this was systematic fraud. Meanwhile, Chloe was unraveling. Late-night calls in her driveway, chain-smoking like her life depended on it. I overheard her once whispering into her phone, "Please, I'll get the money. Just give me more time. The tech guy's house is worth 50 grand. That's when I realized she was gambling at Rivers Casino, racking up debt with loan sharks, and she was selling out her neighbors to pay them back. Then came the worst night of my life. Tyler didn't come home from school. 4 o'clock passed, then 5. My calls went to voicemail. At 5:15 I got a text from an unknown number. Grandfather should mind his own business. Some families need to learn when to stop asking questions. I thought I was going to collapse. Jake took one look at that message and flipped into cop mode. "Dad, this is officially a kidnapping investigation now." Within minutes, patrol cars were circling detectives interviewing classmates. Emma rallied the neighbors into search grids like it was a military op. At 7:15, the phone rang. Tyler's voice shaky but alive. "Grandpa, I'm okay. I'm at the library. I hid when I heard them talking about Big Eddie. You need to see what I found." Relief hit me so hard I almost dropped the phone. That kid, he'd not only kept himself safe, he'd been digging into Chloe's financial records. Multiple refinances, maxed out cards, desperate loans. It all lined up with the timeline of the burglaries. And then came the turning point. Chloe pounded on my door that night, screaming about me causing problems for the community. I was ready to face her down, but before I could, Jake stepped out from behind me, not in his civilian clothes this time, but in full police uniform. Badge belt radio crackling. Chloe froze. Her eyes went wide, the color drained from her face. She stumbled back like she'd been hit. "Mrs. Foster," Jake said, voice cold and official. "Officer Jake Armstrong, Maplewood Police Department. I believe you wanted to discuss something." That was the moment the power shifted. She'd spent years intimidating neighbors with fake authority. Now she was facing the real thing. Act 3, The Showdown and Justice. Sunday night, the trap was set. Federal agents were looped and backup units in place. Emma watching through her telephoto lens, Tyler in Jake's old room surrounded by monitors. We knew Tankstone and his crew, Big Eddie's collectors, were coming. At 11:30, I heard the faint click of a lock being picked, then the whisper of the back door opening. They moved through my house like a unit split into teams, signal jammers, humming flashlights cutting through the dark. These weren't thugs, they were professionals. Tyler's voice came over the headset, steady but low. "Grandpa, they're inside. Tank's heading straight for your office. 2 more in the basement and garage. They know the layout." Of course they did. Chloe had given them everything, our routines, our floor plan, even Tyler's favorite hiding spots. I stepped into the hallway, heart pounding, but voice steady. "Why us? Why threaten a kid?" I demanded when Tank rounded the corner. He paused, his mask of calm slipping just for a second. "Old man, you don't get it. We work for people who don't tolerate failure. Your crypto was supposed to clear a very big debt. I could see it, fear not of me, but of whoever he answered to." Big Eddie's shadow loomed over all of them. That was when Jake gave the signal. In an instant, the house was surrounded. Floodlights snapped on, radios crackled, agents poured in through every door. Tank's crew dropped their tools, hands in the air. The jammers were seized, the wallets recovered, and Chloe, our almighty HOA queen, was dragged onto the lawn in front of half the neighborhood. Her excuses spilled out fast. Pathetic. "This is just HOA business, a misunderstanding." But Jake cut her off, voice sharp as a knife. "We'll be investigating recent break-ins, Mrs. Foster. And you might want to explain why you've been living under 5 different identities across 3 states. The look on her face was priceless: shock, shame, fear, all at once. Neighbors peeked from windows, phones recording whispers spreading like wildfire. The woman who fined people for leaving trash cans out an extra hour was now exposed as a criminal fraud. And that's where it ended for her, on my front lawn under police lights, mask ripped off in front of everyone she once ruled over. Closing line. Sometimes the people with the loudest authority are hiding the darkest secrets, and the only way to beat them is to stop doubting yourself and fight back.